Will Pokemon Generation 10 be on Nintendo Switch? Now, recently I got a comment on one of my videos. Thank you so much for the idea. Will Pokemon Generation 10 be on Nintendo Switch? Now, this is actually possible because judging by how Nintendo is going right now, the Nintendo Switch has sold multiple units, and I don't think that Nintendo would be willing to get rid of it immediately. And I've been doing my fair share of research, trying to figure this all out. And let me tell you, I've uncovered so many different crazy interesting things, like how Pokemon Generation 10 has the possibility to be released in November of 2025 because of Pokemon's 3-year release date period, which is very, very true. If you look at Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then what was the next one? Scarlet and Violet. That is 3 years, 2019 to 2022. Then if you look at Sun and Moon to Sword and Shield, there you go, 2019 is another one. And then we could even go back as far as Pokemon X and Y, which was 2013. Pretty crazy things. So yeah, overall, I do believe that it's a possibility that we're going to be seeing Generation 10 on Nintendo Switch. Because if you look at Nintendo is not going to want to get rid of their flagship console just yet. Now, if you look at the Nintendo 3DS or Wii U, yes, they did get rid of those consoles pretty quickly after the Nintendo Switch was released. But that's only because it was pretty much a failure, the console. So, why would they remove their flagship console from either being sold and also getting new games? That wouldn't make too much sense. That just wouldn't make too much sense. Now, if you look at it, Pokemon Generation 10, if it is still going to be on the 3-year thing, I don't think that it's going to be on the 3-year thing because of the fact that they took longer to make Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, this is a really good thing for the Pokemon fans that they really want to have a really good experience with Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, also, what this could include is we're not going to be seeing Generation 10 on a 3-year cycle. We're probably going to be seeing it in 2026. Now, this would be a year after the Nintendo Switch 2 would have been released. And by then, would we still see the game on the Switch? Yeah, it's very, very possible because the Nintendo Switch is such a fantastic console that you can pretty much put anything on there. Now, it might not run well, but it's possible that you could see it. Now, what Generation 10 could imply is that maybe I've actually searched this up, and it's kind of crazy how apparently, now take this with a grain of salt, it is probably not true, but it's also pretty interesting to look at. Now, Generation 10 is apparently going to go back to a 2D thing. Now, I don't really believe that this is going to be the way how it's going to go. It's possible because maybe the Pokemon games haven't been well received lately. Now, they've been well received, but like Legends Arceus has been really well received, but other games are like, they're getting a little glitchy. So apparently, they might try a 2D world just to see, oh, Pokemon Generation 10 is out, and we're in 2D again. It's very possible that we're going to be seeing 2D. Now, this could work really, really well on the Nintendo Switch. Most likely, we will be seeing Generation 10 on the Nintendo Switch because, hey, it's the Nintendo Switch. It's super, super fantastic console. I'm just saying. Now, also, what Generation 10 could imply, if it is not an open world game, because think of it. If it is an open world game, then we'll be seeing 2 open world games. Because we have Pokemon Legends ZA, which is essentially going to be an open world game. And then we got Pokemon Generation 10. Now, they could take a lot of time to make it the perfect game. But to be honest, I have a feeling that they're just going to make a 2D game because that's what they know how to do. And pretty much call it a day. Now, Pokemon fans will, of course, most likely be happy with that. And also, if you didn't decide to buy yourself a Nintendo Switch 2, you will still be able to play it on the Nintendo Switch because Pokemon games 2D run exceptionally well on the Nintendo Switch because, hey, it's the error that really, I guess, started Pokemon off, and it's not that hard to like put it to the Nintendo Switch. They could have done that with all their other Pokemon games, but they didn't do that at all. So yeah, you don't really know. You don't really know at this point with Nintendo and how all of this stuff is going to be combined. Now, the fact that multiplayer will most likely be a thing, because this was a really well taken part of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, co-op mode. Will we be seeing co-op mode again in Generation 10? And if it's going to be kind of like a cross game with the Nintendo Switch? Yeah, probably most likely we're going to be seeing something like that, because there's a lot of different things that people want to see, but Pokemon Company just never wants to bring. Like co-op mode. Now, we've seen it in Scarlet and Violet, but playing a 2D game, let's just say that Pokemon Generation 10 is a 2D game, with a friend, exploring the entire adventure together, doing gyms together, battling together, catching Pokemon together, that sounds to me like a really, really fantastic game. And if they are going to do a two-dimensional game, it would be perfect for the Nintendo Switch. So overall, if it is a two-dimensional game, which like so many people are thinking it is a two-dimensional game, I don't really think it's going to be a two-dimensional game, but it's possible. Who knows at this point? If it's going to be a two-dimensional game, chances are it's going to be running just fine on the Nintendo Switch. You probably don't even have to compress it that much to play it on the Switch, because this console really like taken 8 years of struggle, but really it's made it so much better, if you know what I mean. Like 8 years of compressing files, making the game look worse just to play on the Switch. Why? Now, I'm just saying, it's perfect. Like, this console is absolutely amazing. Even if you compress all the games, even if you make the gameplay itself a little bit worse, it makes it for a perfect experience. So they could do this for Pokemon, because Pokemon, they really didn't take the biggest amount of juice from the Nintendo Switch, and now they have more hardware to work with. So does this mean that they're just gonna bail on the Switch to work on a more powerful hardware because that's what they needed? Doesn't make sense. So yeah, if it's going to be Generation 10, if we're going to see this year, because they are already done Pokemon Legends ZA, didn't want to announce it, didn't want to say anything, they could see Generation 10 in 2025 because of the 3-year thing. I don't think we're going to be seeing it in 2025. 2026 is more likely. Or do you think, hey, maybe we're not going to be seeing it? I don't know. Do you think it's going to release on the Switch 2? Or do you think that it's also going to be released on the Switch 1? Because personally, I'm a big believer that it's also going to be on the Switch 1. I don't know, what do you think about all this Pokemon Nintendo nonsense? Let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, by the way. And also, I hope you have a fantastic day. And with that being said, see you in the next one.